Yo, what's good? It's your boy Cam.
And I'm Lovell.
And this is
Cameo and Lovell.
Yeah.
And we're here with my best friend, my sister,
Mistress. What's up?
So today, you guys, we are all three here together because we all have something in common. We all have independent businesses. We want to give y'all just a little educated, tune up about how to run an independent business, what to do, what we do. And this is just based in Atlanta, Georgia. We're not going to talk for y'all folks in, Florida, Tennessee, Cancun, Cuba, whoever watching this. We just talk about Atlanta, Georgia. When you get here, what it's like. Right. So you guys, what is it like? What do y'all want to start? Let's start with, how do y'all feel? What are the steps? What's step one of running an independent business here? Step one.
Well, for me, of course, like starting a business, you got to come with a name. You got to have your whole layout. You got to get your LLC. You got to go basically do all the right paperwork first, with the government and all that other stuff to make sure that you have your brand, your name, and all that stuff out of the way first, which is a process. Sometimes you got to get your tax ID for your taxes and everything else.
Yeah, so maybe taking this with a pen.
I mean, it's like no flex. It's like so much. It's like a lot. So going through those first stages first is already a lot. Actually getting it started, that's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's jump off of that. To getting it started, do y'all even know, like, when you have an independent business, it's knowing your brand.
Right.
Once, like she said, it's first paperwork. Let's get this paperwork. Let's get what you want to do. But knowing your brand. Who are your audience? If I am a food restaurant, hypothetically speaking, I love cooking, but I ain't it. But if I am a food restaurant and I'm trying to get out there in Atlanta, Georgia, and trying to brand out, the last thing I need to be doing is trying to go find a hair company and saying, hey, I have my food restaurant. Okay, well, what we gonna do? Like, if all my audiences is doing this, like, what's gonna happen? Like, know your audience, know your brand, know who to reach so you can grow. To top off of that, what do y'all think would be the best way for people? Ooh, if y'all hear screaming, honey, there ain't nobody dying. There ain't Corona in the background. That's the movie on it. Another room in the house.
You're so silly.
But what do y'all feel like is something that people tend to not do when it's running a business here? Like, folks will sometimes say, oh, I'm a business owner, but
I have nothing
we
to
don't
show
have,
for it.
No receipts.
Like, no receipts, nothing to show for it. And most people, as you said before, they don't know the demographics and they don't know their competitors. Because of at the end of the day, every business has a competitor, whether it's a high end, whether it's low end, whether it's a knockoff, or whether it's like a generic brand or something. It's still a competition.
And what levels is your brand? Where are you trying to go? Are we trying to be like, local? Are we trying to go Kim Kardashian? Like, those are two, well, not Kim. Who would her?
We'll just say international.
International.
Right.
One of the Kardashians.
True.
Or Jen. Or Kendi, yes. But, so let's get into individuals. What do y'all do? Tell the people what you do.
Okay, well, first and foremost,
we'll go all in order.
I am, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, and I'm a singer. My name is Mistress. Yeah. And you can find me on Instagram.
In the link below.
And you're right, the link below, but I'm going to say it anyway. Princess Mistress ATL. I'm also a makeup artist. I've been doing that for over 12 years. I'm actually in the process of, now I'm starting to have my own makeup line in the making, along with my hairline is coming too. It's called Silk Press Collections.
Silk Press.
These are just braids for now, but my line when it comes to makeup is going to be, of course, it's going to be hyperallergenic because it's going to be for all skins of color. When it comes to ethnic color, sometimes we have, like a hard time matching, ourselves with, certain stuff because we have the yellow, the warm, the cold, and all those undertones.
Once again, knowing your brand, knowing your audience.
Right. Also with that, I'm also working on a skincare line as well because skincare is really the key to makeup. Period. Like having flawless skin, which I kind of battle with that, unfortunately. I wasn't blessed to have that, that flawless skin like most people, so I had to use all kind of different
products and things.
Products and stuff like Neutrogena and all that.
That's normal though.
But I mean, it's normal, but it's just like, you know, some people have like flawless skin. Like some people just let them feel like, oh, I just use water. Girl, please. So, dealing with that. So from makeup to the skincare line, and then the hair. Like the hair is gonna be one of the biggest ones, because I kind of feel like when it comes to hair, people like go crazy for hair. I mean, I'm really a hair girl. I'm a hair barb. So I kind of feel like when it comes to hair, I mean, my prices are going to be so reasonable from I'm not trying to be ratchet here, but from the projects on up to the upper echelon type of people. And it's going to be, of course, 9A grade hair, which is one of the top qualities of hair.
Once again, knowing your product.
Exactly. I feel like knowing your brand, knowing what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to market, that's always like a positive, because think about it. There's a lot of people that actually want to start a business. Some people don't know how to start a business, and that's why you should do your research. You should do your research, or actually connect with other business owners to see, hey,
what we gonna do?
Right?
How we gonna interact? How we gonna piggyback off of each other?
There you go.
Networking.
I was finished to say, to piggyback off of what you were saying, knowing from like the range, you can literally start. There are so many major businesses that literally just start around the corner from where you at right now, and will sit there and be like, I got an idea. That idea blows into family. That family is like, oh dang, you should really start doing this. Thing blows up to the point where you become a blog. Now you become Atlanta citywide. Now you become past Atlanta to Georgia, and now you're in different states. Just please, if y'all have a career or focus, do not let anybody stop you. Yeah. Let that be a mental thing to everyone to say, hey, I'm in Corona time. I want to do something that I never really thought about doing since I'm not at work right now. Let me just go for it. And
go for it. Yeah.
Go for it.
Speaking of going for it, before I jump into, other things that I have going on, I want to say during the quarantine, most of us are essential workers like myself. So shout out to me.
Essential.
Exactly. We essential workers, we're protecting. But I can say during the quarantine, during the, the absence from people, the crowds, this is the time to have self-discipline, because finding yourself, finding your strength, your weaknesses, working on whatever you're trying to do, whether it's a craft, whether it's a goal. I just feel like these are the important times. Sad to say that it takes a pandemic for something like this to happen, but it shows you how to be disciplined, how to take individual accountability, and actually perfect what you're trying to do. Because think about it. How could you possibly, try to become a better person if you're not working towards it?
That's true.
People ain't doing it.
Right. It doesn't make sense. Also, when working with a business, I'm also, like I said before, I'm a rapper and I'm a singer as well, and a songwriter. I kind of feel like having multiple streams of income when it comes to branding yourself, not just a musician. You can be a model. You can be...
all your greats do it.
Exactly. Right.
Lady Gaga has the makeup. Yeah. I just found that out when I was watching her new video.
She is so dope.
Nicki has her perfume.
Onika.
Candy. We just mentioned Candy.
Yeah.
She won her the show.
Yeah.
She won.
And she has her
own restaurant, chain of restaurants.
Right.
K Michelle, another one that has her own restaurants. Like everybody has that dip and dab into different things, and y'all really have to. I'm not saying if you are an artist, just like dip in other things, but I'm saying don't focus on just one thing. No, money can be made in other areas. Okay.
Exactly. And I want to say this to my fellow either upcoming artists or even people that's just wants to be, or even aspiring artists. I want to say never limit yourself. Never limit yourself, and don't take no for an answer. And don't get me wrong. Again, when you're trying to do music, start a business, work on your crafts, things are not, they're not going to come easy. Because of, again, the main focus to working on anything is consistency. The more consistent you be with something, the better you will become and you'll get. And then on top of that, you'll reach a goal, whether it's like, just say if you wanted to have 6 figures by a certain month, a certain stream by a certain week. You know what I'm saying? If you sit here and do the ins and outs and do your due diligence, as in being the Samaritan, being the person that you're supposed to be, artist, model, esthetician, makeup artist, lash tech, XYZ, I feel like you will eye yourself. I'll say that. You will be like, I did what? I did who? Also, surrounding yourself with positive people.
Oh.
Being around business owners and people that actually have the same drive as you, because of nowadays when you hang out with people that are like, I guess,
couch potato,
lames. They're like lames, lackluster, like all this stuff. It leaves room for people to think when you're actually being appraised for something, they'll feel like you're being like you're boasting about what you do, and it's almost like I'm not boasting, but
it's where you don't have to rank yourself. Oh, I got the perfect answer for this. You don't have to rank yourself higher than the other person. You really don't. You have to really know, like, y'all on the same level. That's how communities come. Like, for us, or in every community, that's how they come together and they work. They realize that we are equal and not above the other person. So therefore, we can move and we can go through this journey together and be like, hey, you do this, you do that. Let's come back and do this and do that. And I can use it and just bounce off, and then creative ideas just start flowing from there.
Right, but see, also at the same time, it has to be like when doing stuff like this, these individuals have to be already either ready or setting themselves up for for stuff like this, because
mental
and
preparedness.
Right.
You have to prepare all that.
Right, because if you don't, baby, you're gonna fail. I'm sorry. I mean, if you don't have more than one plan A, B, C, D, E, blah blah blah, you're going to fail. It's just I'm sorry. That's
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. It happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens. And don't get me wrong, none of us get things right on the first try. None of us do. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But don't give up. Keep going. Go for your dreams and get your business where you want it to be at.
Boom. As simple as that.
I mean, it's just...
Yeah, take that little bar and go right back in the video and then listen to that again, because that is right.
I mean, it's really so straightforward. I mean, I would say go to business seminars, look up business seminars, reconnect and connect with people that are bosses already, CEOs, even some aspiring people, sometimes networking.
Right.
I can honestly say, also during the quarantine, you can network with other people because online they have Zoom calls, they have all this. You can slide somebody's DM, you can go live with people. I kind of feel like
most people are at home right now. Well, most people are at home right now. So it's like it's your percentage of getting in contact with people now is way easier
versus
than how it was before.
Right. So it's just like hey, I feel like work towards it because self-discipline and confidence. I can honestly say when you're doing what you're doing and being in a certain field, whether it's beauty, whether it's tattooing, you're going to have hella competition. But what gets you different is how you do something, how you make something still, how you like tattoos, how detailed, makeup, how flawless, skincare, how flawless, music, how dope you are, XYZ, dancing, how precise you are with your dance moves. So I kind of feel like what makes people different and what makes them greater than someone else is how you actually exude your talent. So when you exude your talent in a either strategic or prestigious way, they be like, well, how did you do that? Once again, you're not me. I can teach you though. But having confidence in doing what you're doing, to me, authenticity is always the key. You never want to be
I can speak for everybody on this panel when I say one thing that we've all done from past to now, we've been confident in our decisions to keep moving, and that's why the businesses are going to this day. Right. Everybody has been confident in their own craft and field to where it's like, if I wasn't, it wouldn't be going. It wouldn't be doing. Right. But yes, confidence is key.
I mean, honestly, that's like one of the main. I'm saying one of the main things. So it's just like, hey, like having it going and keeping it going, and then on top of that, by us being in different avenues and venues of business, the correlation is still there because of, again, there are the ins and outs of everything. It's how we do things. We all have a calendar that we go by, whether it's mentally, whether it's written down. We have goals. Major goals with our company.
What's the vision board you have? Vision board. I just said vision board. There you go.
That's one that you can definitely do, and that will also prepare you, as well as mental motivation.
Right.
To have a vision board where you can actually line up and put things into mental and visual perspective. and you aim for those goals that you put your vision at. Okay, this is what I want to do. This is why I see myself a month from now. You know what I'm saying? The more that you actually be focused within yourself and on your particulars, I promise you, you will not fail. You won't fail.
This is
and
like,
don't be scared. Fear is what get most people. Look, just jump out there and do it.
There you go.
You only live once in your life.
From our businesses, like that. That's why we create these platforms, and to let y'all know that, you know, some people are out there doing it, but as well as our perspective of it. How are you going to make it? What are you going to do at this time? If you have an idea, go for it. If you're an independent makeup artist, or if you're an independent artist, or if you're an independent star, like every single thing that you own in business.
I'll tell you this right here. All three of us, we had to start from the beginning. We had to start from scratch. And
no followers.
Right. And
no,
we had to build. We had to build
no video,
to create
no content.
to create our own legacy, to create our own label. You know, we wasn't handed this
at all.
We had to work and put in work, and we became successful. So by us doing it, you can too.
Yes.
Don't. Exactly. And then also, what I've noticed that people do, I've noticed in the darker ethnic colored ethnicities, they tend to just their time and their success with someone else. Don't do that at all, just because it's their winning season. You're just coming to be patient,
right?
And I can't say, you know, but us being human, we do lack patience because we want things to happen on our time and our way.
It's almost like a mental thing. You know, this, and this, so you're expected already to, you know, equal this, and it's almost like it's not that way. Like we want that 1 + 1 = 2, but in reality, it's like, oh, honey, I done put 1 and 1 together, and this ain't getting what I'm supposed to get.
Right? It's like, okay, like, so, you know, so what, you know, but I just really feel like when you want to start the business or businesses, you have to have that due diligence. That's, again, yes, I'm going to be repetitive because I kind of feel like I'm saying it in 3 different ways so you can understand what I'm trying to say to you. I really want you to really be focused. Like, if you're going to be in a relationship, if you're going to be married, do it the business way. You know what I'm saying? Because of when you do it the business way, you learn how to handle emotions from personal to, you know, because of some people just jump right in. And not knowing nothing, not, you know, they don't get the back end of this, and or they don't do the right branding of their craft and what they're trying to do, and someone else steals it. So it's, I mean, again, copywritten, paperwork, tax, LLC.
From there, it's like really branding your overall package to being able to be shipped, if it's supposed to be shipped, or being able to work on whatever you're doing. So whether you got to put it out to somebody or ship it to somebody, just know it all brings us down to education. Do not go in here blind and stupid. Take your sit down while you got the moment of time and research. Every person has a success story. There are several people doing that. Unless you unless you're combining something or inventing something that we just ain't seen yet, like a hover car or something, then there probably won't be nothing to relate to.
I ain't got time.
But there are other people here to relate to. And we're just a few of those people that are here in this state, but all over the world as well. So on that note, let me ask y'all this. So during this epidemic time that we're in, this crazy time, do y'all feel that has it affected your business, or is it still the same?